Hello, I'm Switch.
And I'm old.
You know, it doesn't take much to save money, just a few simple... Is that smell coming from you?
Yes, wonderful, isn't it?
No, it's actually pretty offensive.
Well, in order to save money, I now shower only once every 2 weeks.
Ugh, well, that's not really practical, is it?
Not at all, but it does save money. And also, I only turn on the lights on the third Tuesday of every month.
Well, how do you get any work done?
Again, I don't. But again, it's all about saving the money, and I'm doing a great job.
You're not seeing the big picture, are you?
Well, actually, I'm not seeing anything. Hey! Did you just touch me?
I wouldn't even go near you right now.
Just to give you a little backdrop of who we are and what we do. I mean, we've been around for a good while and headquartered in Scranton, but we have about 15 facilities throughout the country. And a large piece of those facilities are large warehouses to store, paper records. And some of those facilities are large operational centers with scanners, technology equipment. And so we typically spend about $1.5 million each year on electric. And so obviously this is a rather large number, and we've seen a continued increase in our consumption. And now what's posed out there are large increases on the cost side. So again, just to give you a sense, we capture work for our clients various different ways, either from the internet, through mail, through different inputs. We'll process it using technology, and then we'll preserve it in large warehouses, the record storage, as well as the electronic information. So we have large server rooms, large data rooms, large warehouses, and a large consumption of electricity. Now at the same time, those all sound good. The challenge is things stink in the economy. And so over the last 12 months, we've had all kind of pressures from, meltdown in the economic markets, increased competition, more regulatory risk. We have our suppliers pushing us with price increases, our customers pushing us to reduce costs. We have things like electric rates scheduled to rise in January by 30%. Not exactly a scenario that you'd like to work in. At the same time, part of our business model is also to deliver green solutions. So, our approach is that we can convert paper into electronic information. And that in itself can be very green. It's also a way to mitigate risk. And that mitigation of risk is how we approached our energy challenges. Not unlike the last presentation, I don't have any technical skills. I don't even know if I've changed one bulb. And we've kept it simple. That's been the entire focus of keeping this very simple, because it's very easy to get lost in all the different things that are out there. At the same time, I am a CFO by training, or actually by experience, lawyer by training, bag combo, but tend to be very data-driven. And so, pretty much the only thing that we looked at was the result. We weren't going to get caught up in anything else. And I put up a famous quote of Vince Lombardi of, some of us will do our jobs well and some will not, but we'll be only judged by one thing, and that is the result. So we did this in a very much a data-driven approach. So again, how we approached it and how I can share that experience for you today and where it might be helpful is, one, to step back and do some data gathering. Know what you consume. Know how you consume it. Then worry about what you spend. The piece that you can really control is the consumption aspect. You can't control the price aspect of it. And if you control the consumption, you've either saved cost or mitigated future costs. And that's how we approached it. From there, we determined where we could have the greatest impact. We looked at water, we looked at gas. We focused on electricity because of our large demand and where we could generate the greatest impact. In addition, it's very stable and definable. So we were able to get our arms around what that meant, how we used it. The use didn't change or vary significantly based on weather and other attributes. We were looking for an ROI of 2 years or less. Second point, don't fall in love. It's expensive. I have 4 children. It's very expensive. But don't fall in love with the project. Let the data drive you to where it goes. It's very easy to get caught up in all kind of new technology, new efforts. Again, we kept it very simple. Determine what risks, what variables might affect or impact your ROI. Again, we zeroed in on the easy ones to build some credibility, and again, focused on the consumption aspect. We did not necessarily worry about the pricing aspect. We looked at it from a consumption-driven model. From there, this is not our core business. And I'm very big on making sure that you don't play in things that you don't know. So what we've done is we went out and what we call smart source. We wanted to look at ways not just to cut costs, but to look at ways to have a partner that could help us innovate and progress. We didn't want to just make something happen and kind of cram it down. We wanted to streamline the whole process, the whole value chain. And in this, I'll explain a little bit more, but it's not just about having somebody implement, but there are other pieces behind this, from the financing, the design, etc. Again, one of the key attributes that I focus on is we partner on what we don't know. We'll focus on what we do. We'll go out and find partners on what we don't know. And again, we look very much, around something that could continue. Did not want a one-shot transaction. We had 15-plus facilities. We wanted to continue to roll this forward. And we wanted to end up and create a trust-based relationship. Because again, we wanted to be able to do this and repeat this. From our perspective, and not necessarily a plug, but we went through a big process and we selected Commonwealth Energy. And we've done 3 projects to date, and each one has delivered based upon the outcomes of which we laid out